Today, we're talking about one of the biggest health conversations happening right now: cholesterol, statins, inflammation, and why so many people feel completely lost trying to figure out what's actually true anymore. Because let's be real, people are overwhelmed. One doctor says cholesterol is killing you, another says cholesterol isn't the problem. Most people were never taught how the body actually works. Almost nobody stopped to explain why people are so inflamed. Why is metabolic disease exploding? Why are people sleeping less, moving less, and feeling worse than ever before? And why are so many people managing symptoms while not actually getting healthier? Maybe the body isn't malfunctioning. Maybe it's responding exactly the way a chronically stressed, overfed, undernourished, and overstimulated modern body responds. So today, Dr. Harmon and I are diving into what cholesterol actually does in the body, what people should understand about statins, and the foundational lifestyle shifts that can dramatically impact long-term health. Because people deserve more than confusion. They deserve education, they deserve honesty, and they deserve to feel empowered instead of terrified every time they get lab results. So let's get into it.
Welcome to Root Cause Holistic Health. I'm Dr. John Harmon, physician, brain health expert, and your host on this no-fluff journey into whole body healing.
And I'm Tracey Green, wellness coach, mom, and co-host in this space where we get real about what actually heals, not just what's trending.
We're here to help you uncover what's really going on and empower you to take the next step in your healing journey.
Dr. Harmon, let's start with the question almost everybody is asking right now. Has the conversation around cholesterol become too simplified?
Let me start by asking a question. Let's say you're a bricklayer, you're a mason, and you have a brick wall to make. And you go to the supply house, company that supplies the mortar and the bricks. You get your bricks, and you go to the place to get the mortar, and they say, "Oh, we're out of mortar, sorry." And so you come up with this idea to use Elmer's glue to build a wall. This is analogous to not having enough cholesterol. Why? Because it's the sort of glue, structure glue, that holds all of your cells together. So when Tracey talked about inflammation and this disorder and that disorder, it depends on where it shows up the worst. If you're on a statin drug, here's an example. When I was doing chiropractic years ago, people would come in, they're kind of a regular patient. They come in maybe a couple times a year, maybe once a month, just everybody's different. And they would come in, they say, "Gosh, my joints and my muscles are just aching all the time." And you know what I would ask them? First question, not, "Have you been working out every day and getting sore?" Not, "Is somebody beating you?" It was, "Did you start taking a statin drug?" And their eyes get really big and they say, "Yeah, like 3 months ago." I said, "Oh my gosh." I said, "Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story. Go back to the 70s. There's a study called the Framingham study. The drug companies had a drug that could block cholesterol production in the liver. And they said, "We have to do something." They did a flawed study called the Framingham study. And their goal was to demonize fat, cholesterol, and you know what happened after that. This is fat-free. It's full of sugar, but it's fat-free. Now we're shifting to margarine because it's not saturated fat. And cholesterol is bad. And there's a certain level of cholesterol that's bad. Let's fix it at that. Oh, no, let's change it a little bit later. This level of cholesterol is bad. So just know that was the original motivation for selling the world on this false idea that cholesterol was somehow harmful. And I want to ask one question that's two parts. Whether you believe in the creation or whether you believe in evolution, first of all, why would God make a body with the most important organ in the body to make something that will kill the body? Why would we, over thousands and thousands of years, if you believe in evolution, or maybe millions, why would our bodies develop a liver that produces something that is so harmful for us that eventually we're going to have a drug to turn off that ability to make cholesterol? Having said that, when I go into a doctor, if a doctor ever says, well, we got to check your cholesterol level because, we got to make sure your blood pressure is good and your cholesterol level is good. And I know that this is not my dude or my gal. This is not my doctor. If you are still promoting the poison called statin drug, you are not my person. A high cholesterol is not a harmful thing. There have been studies done that people who have the highest cholesterol are the healthiest.
It's unbelievable. So then why? Because don't statins suppress it? So then they're trying to suppress the cholesterol levels. Everybody talks about their levels. Your levels are too high, so they give them a statin. So isn't that in turn what they're trying to do, suppress it? But actually we want higher cholesterol because you need cholesterol in the body?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what I used to tell my patients. If you want to have dementia and Alzheimer's when you get older, take a statin drug.
Oh my gosh.
We'll deal with that one first.
Yep. Okay.
70% of your brain is made of cholesterol. It's because the electrical impulses going through those neurons, just like in your house, you have to have insulation around the wiring. If you didn't do that, what's going to happen? You're not going to have any electricity, or you're going to burn your damn house down because all of the wires are exposed. Mm-hmm. So if your neurons in your brain don't have any insulation so that the transmissions can proceed, thinking, functioning, then your brain doesn't work. So if you want to have those, take a statin drug. Men, if you want to have ED, take a statin drug. Wow. People, if you want to have diabetes, take a statin drug. Let me back that up with some facts. Mm-hmm. Cholesterol is the substrate or the base molecule that your body starts with to make your hormones, to make the insulation around your brain, to make the mortar to hold your tissues together. You have to have cholesterol in order to do that. So if you don't have that, you're not going to be able to insulate the wiring in your brain. If you don't have that, you're not going to make hormones. Let's talk about a couple of them. Insulin. You have to have cholesterol to make insulin. You have to have cholesterol to make testosterone. You have to have cholesterol to make estrogen, and on and on and on. If your body is being suppressed by a statin drug, you can't make any of them. Right. So it depends on what's the weakest spot in your body, where it's going to show up first. Where is it hitting you the hardest? And we all have a kind of a metabolic storage, it's a storage locker. I have this much more than what I'm putting out right now. I have it in reserve, and what happens is over time, if you're taking something that's blocking one of the most important substances in your body, you don't have anything in reserve left. And so what if my tissues, my tendons, my muscles, my bones aren't being held together, is it going to be a tendon tear Is it going to be a fracture? Is it going to be diabetes? Is it going to be erectile dysfunction? Is it going to be a woman who has hormone problems? Well, it depends on where your weakest spots are. Then they're going to show up. A lot of times it just shows up as muscle aches and joint aches. So if your doctor is when you go into the doctor, and this is my opinion, it's backed up by science. You can look it up. I'm not telling you what to do with your doctor. If you have that relationship, you trust the person, go. Not diagnosing or treating. I'm not making any I'm giving my opinion. My opinion is if you go to a doctor and they are really, really concerned about your cholesterol level being too high, and your LDL is high and your HDL is low, LDL moves cholesterol around in your body. Don't get all befuddled. And they say, well, what causes deposits in the arteries then? Sugar. Stop eating sugar.
Lifestyle, right.
Stop eating sugar. It's not cholesterol. Cholesterol is really, really important.
I want to just back up a little bit and unpack some of what you said. I don't think people understand what cholesterol actually does in the body. I mean, there's so many different parts of it, the brain, the body. There's so many different aspects to cholesterol and what it does in the body.
They've been miseducated, shall we say.
Right.
Here's the other thing. And when people hear this, it absolutely blows them away. We go out in the sun and the UV light hits our skin. It converts. Now listen to this. Listen to this, people. We love you, listeners. It converts 7-dehydrocholesterol. I think I got the name right. I'm pulling that way back from the
way
archives.
back in the file cabinet.
7-dehydrocholesterol, I think it is, to vitamin D.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? It can't happen if you don't have enough vitamin D. Or guess what will happen? Vitamin D is more like a hormone, and it actually binds to your white blood cells that signals it to go kill something. If you have an infection, bacterial, viral, whatever, and you need to call on and activate your army, if your vitamin D level is really low, and many other things that vitamin D is involved in, you're getting sick all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because your statin drug stopped your ability to make cholesterol. The other thing, cholesterol. Your liver makes cholesterol so that it can make bile from the cholesterol. What does bile do? Well, when we eat big, fatty meals or any kind of fat in our diet, and you have to have some, when we eat fats, they have to go through a process called emulsification. And that's where it gets broken down, shall we say, into really, really tiny droplets so that it can be digested. Our fat-soluble vitamins, vitamins A, D, E, and K, are stored in fat because they're fat-soluble. So if you cannot digest them, if you can't digest fats because your doctor gave you a drug that blocks cholesterol production, it's called statin, blocks cholesterol production, that means you're not making bile to emulsify fats, and that means the vitamins A, D, E, and K are not going to get absorbed.
Oh,
so you're not getting vitamin D made in your skin when you go in the sun, and the vitamin D that's in foods, you're not absorbing. This is a very horrible situation to be in. And that's not saying anything about the vitamin A, the vitamin E, and the vitamin K. If we just take the vitamin D. So can you get the bigger picture? In my opinion, it's malpractice to give something to somebody that makes their body stop producing one of the most important substances our body makes.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy.
They probably changed the numbers about the same time those different statin drugs come out. Like they're lowering the numbers to where, I mean, if we follow the money, follow the pharmaceutical, I'm sure those tests were, changed. Now all of a sudden, oh, my LDL or whatever is high or low, and it's fitting the narrative of whatever new drug is coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. And then don't forget that you have to have vitamin D in order to absorb calcium.
Oh yeah.
What's going to happen then if you can't absorb calcium?
Do you think inflammation is a bigger driver of disease than many people realize?
I've been saying this for many years. All diseases start out as some form of inflammation, whether it's the inflammation caused by the poop that parasites have, or a chronic viral load, mold load, exposure to, chronic EMF exposure, and on and on and on. It causes inflammation. So yes, it's important to do things to decrease the amount of inflammation that we have in the body. The medical answer is give you some corticosteroids.
Right. Which we know, I mean, what would happen to a body if they started lowering inflammation naturally?
Well, then you have less oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is what causes aging. So that oxidative stress means that electrons are being pulled out of different molecules, tissues. You're losing that energy. Everything we do, what we eat goes down through the process of digestion and absorption so that we can get electrons to make ATP. That's our gas. But all of our cells are made of those, let's call them healthy molecules, meaning they have all the electrons they're supposed to have, and the tissues, whatever they are, they function normally. It's when that balance of those electrons is off is when we have oxidative stress. That's what that means. And we get exposed to toxins. It'll steal an electron from something. We get exposed to, too many X-rays. We get exposed to different things, and then that's called oxidative stress. The more you have of that, the faster you age.
I was having a conversation yesterday about microwaves, EMFs with earbuds. Yeah. You talk about X-rays. Let's not even talk about the airport and the airport scanners and the X-rays. I mean, it's everywhere. We're inundated everywhere.
Yeah, my wife kind of doesn't like it when we're going through a screening at TSA, and I say I'm going to opt out.
Yep.
But we're always early. We always go early. We've never been late for a flight. It's not how we roll. And I always opt out. I fly a lot more than she does, and I don't want all of that exposure to that LiDAR, I think is what it's called. It's not radar, it's LiDAR, but it's a big exposure. And if you're doing a lot of it, it's oxidative stress. Will it kill you? I don't know. Will it cause cancer? I don't know. Will it cause this? I don't know. But here's what we know. It causes oxidative stress because it kicks out electrons from different molecules in your body. It's the definition. I mean, it has to. It goes through you, and whether it's X-ray or different kinds of things like that, it causes oxidative stress.
Yeah. No, I'm the wired earbuds, the no use of the microwave, and opting out at the airport. Those are all things that I actively. Yeah, we haven't used a microwave in I don't even know, like 10 years. Well, longer than that. We've lived in Florida 10 years, but absolutely. So I wanted to ask you, because there are people that are hell bent on going to their doctor every year. They're wanting to get those labs. What labs should people be asking for rather than just a regular cholesterol panel? I mean, is there anything else to look for?
Is it just out of curiosity? What are they going for?
Yeah, because people, I mean, I know my dad likes to go get his blood work, and then all of a sudden it's high or low or whatever. But who is making that determination? Because if it's all pharmaceutical driven, I think where you're going too is, do we need those labs because I almost think that they're
You
not
mean
even
specifically
accurate.
for cholesterol?
Yeah. Well, anything. I mean, let's just think about even blood pressure medicine, all of it, Dr. Harmon. I mean, most of those labs that you get today, I mean, the numbers have changed over the years. They've made them higher or lower to, like I've said earlier, to fit the narrative to prescriptions.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we need to have a better marker on how to know if you're healthy or not, I think.
Well, I think it's good to get your blood work done once a year because things show up. People die from things they don't even know they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just a basic screening, though. It's not really, really thorough. There are all kinds of labs. Does it include your hormone levels? What are the concerns? Is it, a man and you're getting older and the testosterone levels going down and other things? It's good to monitor those, but I can tell you 100%, this is me. This is Dr. John Harmon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost 72. I couldn't care less about my cholesterol level. I never give it a second thought. I recommend that you don't do that. I recommend you take action if you are getting deposits in your arteries. Look elsewhere. Sugar, and think when you put sugar in a pan and you cook it and it caramelizes, think that direction, not your cholesterol that's actually really good for you. What's really, really ironic is there are studies that have been done that show higher cholesterol, healthier you are. But also there was a study done over 300,000 people in many countries monitoring their salt level.
Oh, wow.
And the people who had the highest intake, at least double what our FDA says, were the healthiest and had the least amount of cardiovascular and all of that stuff. So you look at a lot of things. They tell us a lot of things. Stay out of the sun. Do this. Watch your cholesterol. Watch your salt intake. Use sunscreen. They don't tell you that it has cancer-causing agents in it. And so many things. And I did. I had a checkup last week. I sat down, put the blood pressure cuff on, and I said, 117/78. And it was 118/79. And they were thinking that I was taking a cholesterol drug. I mean, a blood pressure drug. And I said, no, I'm not. I don't worry about my cholesterol level for one thing. Mm-hmm. And I know that the diet that I have and the things that I do are contributing to my health span. We all have a lifespan. In the 15 to 20 minutes that we've been talking, we're 20 minutes closer to the time when that clock stops. Everybody is. So we look at the lifespan, at some portion of that is our health span. Wouldn't you agree with me that the length of the health span has a lot to do with what we choose to eat, do, think, exercise? We have the ability to increase the portion of that which is considered to be a health span. And that is where you're able to, converse, remember who you are, you're able to travel, you're able to, because your joints are healthy and you move around and you're not stuck in a bed somewhere. Yeah, things happen, accidents happen, but the health span is largely determined by your cell's ability to maintain the integrity of your tissues, your bones. That's the mortar of those. That's the structural integrity is cholesterol. So don't believe any of that crap. My opinion.
Well, I think that you're right. And you talked about food. I mean, we talk about that all the time. I mean, How many people throw something in the shopping cart and do not give it a second thought? They have no idea there's bioengineered ingredients in it that they can't process, their kids can't process. So somewhere along the line, it's going to catch up with them.
I have a policy. I don't eat packaged stuff that has ingredients. Just no, that's not food.
Yeah.
That's something that's been altered that tastes like food and has some food in it. But if it has a bunch of ingredients, a lot of it is not food. And so if you're not eating a whole food, then consider that there's a good portion of that that is contributing to your demise rather than to your health. Especially when you can't even read the words.
No, exactly. And I think that you're right too. I mean, statins, people have just gotten so used to just getting another prescription. You know, if they get a lab report, their numbers are high, automatically getting put on a statin. And people don't stop and think or research or look at the ingredients of the statin drug or the side effects of the statin drug, the long-term effects of that. And they don't even ask, is there anything else I can do? And to your point, you need high cholesterol. So if they've got high cholesterol numbers, okay, you know, unless
you're skippy.
Yeah. Yeah. I think these statin drugs are going to be long-term. Obviously, they're more detrimental to somebody than a higher cholesterol report.
And then add to that, Tracey, that somebody gets something planted in their head, in their mind. There's something wrong with me, which creates worry and stress. My cholesterol's high. My doctor says I'm going to die from a stroke or heart attack, clogged arteries. That can cause issues all on its own, which are horrible. And it really kind of aggravates me when people go to the doctor, and this is over a 35-year career, they go to their medical doctor and my doctor said, you know, my cholesterol's high and I'm really concerned and my, you know, all of these things. And I try to tell them and to allay their fears, but they believe the medical doctor because that's his, air quotes, expertise. No, that's how he was trained. He or she was trained. The drug companies set the protocols for the med schools. I don't know if you knew that. And for doctors.
Yeah, I did not know that. Okay, say that again. Okay.
The drug companies set the protocols for the drugs they've developed. It is not the doctors who make the protocols. The drug companies tell them how much they're supposed to prescribe for different age groups. And they have huge influence because of money that they control what doctors are taught. And if you have a problem wrapping your head around that, just think about this. It was only about 6 months ago that a big announcement came out from our health department. Medical doctors are going to now be required to have a course in basic nutrition. It's 2026.
Unbelievable, Dr. Harmon.
And doctors are now being required to take core nutrition. And I've never been so demonized as I actually made a comment. I usually don't comment on news sites or anything. And I think it was CBS or NBC News, their Facebook page, and they made this announcement and said, who should train these people? And I was saying it sarcastically because there's always been this riff, you know, medical doctors look down on chiropractors. I said, they could have a chiropractor teach it because we have 5 semesters of nutrition, including clinical nutrition. And I said it as a joke, like, welcome to the party. It's only taken you, 100 years? I don't know.
Right.
And now you're just learning about basic nutrition. And man, the shaming that I got, you guys are quacks. You don't know anything, blah, 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 blah. And I finally just turned that off, man. I said it kind of tongue in cheek. It was so ironic that the very people you call quacks, not you, but the medical community, have called chiropractors quacks.
Mhm.
And now they're getting a core nutrition course. And back in 1986, I
Mhm.
was required to have 5 semesters of nutrition.
Mhm.
It's just so ironic, isn't it?
Well, if everything starts in the gut, if 99% of ailments start with the gut, don't you think we should have nutrition courses so then we know, you know what I mean? I should know more than some of these medical doctors about nutrition. So it like you said, welcome to the party. Welcome to the party.
And I would say the average person who just, has basic knowledge of nutrition probably knows more
Yeah.
than a lot of medical doctors because they
Mhm.
haven't been taught.
Dr. Harmon, I think that times are really changing. I think some of the good that came out of COVID is people, didn't go to some of those well baby visits. They didn't get all of their, routine flu shots and all of that. And all of a sudden they're like, I'm fine. I really don't need this. Or people woke up to like,
Yeah, I don't need that.
they're healthier. Or people didn't get some medicines because they were, at home. And so then they actually felt better. They weren't at the store as much. So gardens were being grown more. I have lots of neighbors that during COVID ended up doing gardens and things like that. So all of a sudden they're back to nature. They're eating better. They're not taking a bunch of drugs. They're feeling, drugs as in medicine. And all of a sudden they're feeling better. They're like, I don't need all of this. It's interesting. You've got chiropractors that are helping people so the chiropractor that helped your brother with asthma, naturally, just a chiropractic adjustment can help a baby with chronic ear infections, asthma, things like that, where now we're a healthy route. You're eating healthy, you're getting adjusted. Whereas you go into the regular medical side, and you're getting on drugs or chronically sick, chronic ear infections, allergic to X, Y, and Z, eczema. And then you've got the adult side of that where now you have high blood pressure. So you're on, blood pressure medicine, statin drugs,
Yeah, and you think a lot of people when they hear the word chiropractor, they think, "Oh, I have an ache or a pain." They don't really naturally look at the nervous system, like for example, asthma. There's a part of the nervous system that constricts your bronchioles. There's a part of the nervous system that opens them up. What if the part that is supposed to open them up is being inhibited? Or what if the part that makes them smaller is being overactive? That's called asthma.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if, the nervous system, and we've talked about that, the atlas, the top bone, and the fact that the vagus nerves literally lie on the front aspect. Your atlas is the top bone. My fingers are on my atlas right here. The vagus nerves lie on the front aspect of that. So if you have a misalignment, so let's just take one aspect. There's tilt and there's rotation and there's forward and there's back, but there are a lot of different directions. Let's just say that one side is too far forward. This side is too far forward. So this side is getting pressure on it, and the other side is getting traction. You potentially have the problem that your vagus nerves are being, I won't say pinched, that's an emergency situation, but they have pressure or traction on them, causing them to dysfunction. Well, what do the vagus nerves do? They run your whole digestion and everything in your, down here. So,
Right.
So when you talk about getting an adjustment, it's not just about pain or discomfort. It's about the nervous system.
I think it's too simple for people to understand. Like, you just need to go to the chiropractor. Like, your spine needs to be in alignment. Your nervous system, it all talks to each other. A healthy diet, going to the chiropractor. It's really simple, and I think it's too simple for people really to understand.
Yeah, because we've kind of been trained. We got to do blood tests and got to do these tests and these medicines to feel better. Hopefully that changes soon.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. Is there anything else you can think of about cholesterol that we didn't cover? I know we went down a couple different rabbit holes, as we always do, but I love grabbing, more information back from your archive, that, you pull out at the perfect time.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's simple. Keep it simple.
Don't if you have a blood test done and the doctor says your cholesterol's too high, well, they came up with those. They made those numbers up, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
It's not based on the real world. And there were two of the top cardiologists in the world were on the Dr. Oz show. I think it's been scrubbed from the internet. And they said this, and this will show you it's just not my opinion.
Yeah.
Those two cardiologists said, we never prescribe statin drugs. And blaming cholesterol for being there, causing the depositions in the arteries, is like blaming the fireman who's there putting out a fire for causing the fire. It's very comparable to that. It's not based on reality. So live your life, eat good foods, good fats. Fats are very, very important. Cholesterol is very important. You're going to be stronger. You're going to be healthier if you have a good amount of cholesterol in your body, so you can make hormones, so that you can have good skin, good bones, good structure, like the mortar between the bricks. Mm-hmm. You will be healthier with a healthy level of cholesterol.
I think it's the daily choices. I mean, they either support the body or they're slowly breaking it down. Like you said, we're either the statin drug is like reversing aging or making you age quicker. No thanks. I don't want to age quicker. Mm-hmm. And then you said another word that hits me very near and dear: dementia and Alzheimer's. If that's anywhere and any kind of side effect, why on earth is someone prescribing that? We don't need more people with dementia and Alzheimer's. I mean, there's enough things out there right now that are causing dementia and Alzheimer's.
Yeah, epidemic. But just so you know, Alzheimer's didn't exist until statin drugs came on the market.
Oh my gosh, Dr. Harmon, I did not know that.
Yeah, didn't exist.
So
now it's a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
Good for the drug companies.
If this episode challenged you to think differently, good. Ask questions, stay curious, advocate for yourself, and stop accepting fine when your body knows it's asking for more. Dr. Harmon, as always, thank you for these conversations and helping people think deeper about their health. And everybody listening, thank you for spending your time with us today. We never take that lightly. As always, stay grateful, stay grounded, and keep showing up for your health.
Thanks for tuning in to Root Cause Holistic Health. We're here to help you uncover what's really going on and empower you to take the next step in your healing journey.
Whether you're a mom, a dad, or just someone ready to stop settling for Band-Aid fixes, we hope today's episode gave you something to think about.
If you found this episode valuable, do us a favor, share it with someone you love, and leave a review so we can reach more families like yours.
Make sure to hit follow so you don't miss next week's episode. We've got more honest conversations, practical tips, and root cause wisdom coming your way.
Until next time, stay grounded, stay curious, and most of all, stay connected to what truly matters.
We'll see you next time on Root Cause Holistic Health.